That was a great line. That may even be one of the YouTube shorts for this week. Because Greg, what did you forget to set up when you're about to do a podcast?
A microphone. I did not have a microphone ready, and I knew better. But I decided, like typical, I just kind of sail in here and contribute very little, and get away with it. Apparently, I do fuck all.
I would argue that you do lots of things, but
I provide sarcastic comments,
which people love, by the way.
I don't know why people like my sarcastic comments, but boy, I tell you, was I ever sour last Saturday.
Because John Cena lost?
No, well, no, let's not that at all. So do we want to go with that first, or do we want to go and talk about whatever happened this week and in our lives? Because, maybe we should start happy before I start going off on how stupid last Saturday night was.
Oh, okay. You and I had very different experiences. Let's start off with the lives, because I don't know about you, but in order to take time off at Christmas, it feels like you work twice as hard.
That's usual. I am not off yet. I am back to work next week for a few days. So
neither am I.
Oh, you were off, supposed to be off as of today.
I am, but I have 2 projects I need to finish, because I was supposed to finish them this week. Would have been no problem. Even my video editing issues I'm done. I'm through.
I was going to say, is this the Adobe issues coming back to bite you in the ass?
No. I did an edit. I've done a second edit. I'm on to the final edit. It's like minor changes. No, right. It was a government policy passed in New Brunswick, which I won't get into on the podcast because that's work stuff. But it meant that this entire week I did a 16-page research paper.
Yeah.
I wrote 7 briefings. And then there's the usual stuff I do, which is like emails and administrative things and organizing events and getting back to people and doing meetings. It was just like I worked every day. Like normally there's, what it's like at an office. You have your ups and your downs. I was basically at about full throttle for 5 days straight.
Fair. We should also kind of start this off with, we're lucky to actually bring this to you and not be on generators this morning, as right now, as we record this at 10 a.m. on Saturday morning here in Nova Scotia, there are 75,000 customers without power. When I woke up this morning, it was, I think, 110. They've brought 25,000 or so people, or 35,000 people back online since I've been awake this morning. But we had a pretty decent windstorm last night. I was out and about until about 8:39, and certainly was a challenge with the wind trying to do much. And then came home. I went to bed early last night and woke up. I don't know about you, Brad. We did not lose power overnight. I had a power bump here about 11:30. I woke up to go to the washroom and the power had just bumped. But beyond that, no damage, at least at my place. How about you guys? Made out okay?
Yeah, we somehow didn't lose power either, which is weird because normally my neighborhood is in that zone that tends to lose power. Neighbors all around us don't have power. And somehow the most important places in Dartmouth did not lose power.
Yeah.
You know what that is?
Tim Hortons?
The mall.
Tim Hortons? The mall. Mall, Costco. Bears Lake is shut down. So I was supposed to be up, as you know, I'm usually with my son at a hockey rink at 7 a.m. on Saturday mornings. I woke up at 5:45 to get ready to go over with an email sent in my inbox saying, the rink has no power, so no ice this morning. And when I looked it up, they had been without power since 5 o'clock last night. So even if they did have power, I'm sure that ice is not in a good state because it's actually been quite mild. It's now turning off cold again. That's kind of where we're living. My house is like I am. My house is near a cross street, and if you're to the left of the cross street, there is no power all the way through to practically Brad's house. If you're to the right where I am, you have power. It is the weirdest how our power grid is set up. I have no freaking clue. I have power, but yeah, if I go up to the end of my road here, there's no power from there all the way into practically Brad's house.
Yes, and like a ton of grocery stores and things like that are closed. Today would not be a good day to be out and about, Greg. And I don't say that because there'll be wind and trees and whatnot. The few places that are open, everybody's gonna be driving there because they've lost power. So they're either going there to charge their gear and have a coffee or whatever, or they're going there to do Christmas shopping because it's the Saturday before Christmas.
Yeah, I don't have a turkey yet. So my plan after this is to go and brave potentially Costco. Yeah.
So I'll let people in on a secret. It probably makes me a terrible person. I don't actually like turkey.
What?
So it's not that I don't like it. It doesn't like me. I can have a small amount of it and not get really gassy and bloated. But if I eat more than, say, 5 or 6 slices, I will regret it deeply. And so the leftovers, I can't do it 2 days in a row. So we have a chicken. We have a big old chicken, but it's like, yeah, Christmas is it's going to be interesting. My parents are without power in both places. They're at my brother's house. It's his birthday. They are away as a family. So my parents went out there to stay with them and the dogs. They're past the airport. There's no power there. And in Cole Harbour, there's no power. So as a joke to my wife, I was like, they could drive home to try have a shower, but there's no power there either. So I guess they're...
Yeah, there's no power anywhere.
It is. So again, this is our usual annual rant. If you own a public utility as a state, you should be horsewhipped if you sell it, publicly horsewhipped. You should be forced to go one-on-one with the Undertaker if you sell your power.
I tell you, it's yeah. Listen, I can't complain. I mean, I wasn't sure if I was turning on the generator this morning, and I was doing this by the power of the generator. Luckily, my internet also has a 6-hour battery backup in it, so I was good there. But yeah.
Oh no, Greg, this whole thing just makes you just question a bunch of things about our situation here in Nova Scotia. And I don't mean to get too political, but it's one of those, like, Nova Scotia Power makes billions of dollars and they can't keep the lights on. And this was a major windstorm, but New Brunswick had a similar amount of wind and they'll have everybody back online by the end of the day. And Nova Scotia, I'm not sure. There are people here who are going to be looking at going to Monday without power.
That's not surprising at all.
Imagine people listening to us. What was, Greg, the wind gusts got up to what, 100 kilometers an hour, 120?
I think the airport, when I was reading this morning, the airport was at 107 overnight.
So in miles per hour, that's what?
So that's like 56, 57 miles an hour.
So there are people like Sean Burkhead who have hurricanes on the regular who are looking at us like, wait a second, you guys lost power for that?
Yeah. So 118 actually is what the airport was. So that's going to be 75 mile an hour.
Right.
That's what the wind gusts were.
And huge parts of the province are in the dark. So Greg wishes the power was still out, though, because then he wouldn't have had to watch SmackDown.
Yeah, and I tried this morning. I really did, because I mean, WWE's schedule is so messed up right now with we're going to record SmackDown during Raw and Raw during SmackDown. Like it's so messed up that I tried to see if I could get the Raw Dog and his puppy in crime to cover this podcast for us this morning so he could take the day off, but they refused to do that. I mean, I think they should be required to follow Joe Tessitore and Wade Barrett around. But alas, I did not win that argument. So here we are.
But then we would have had to cover the one next Friday. And do you really want to cover the one next Friday?
Oh, do you know what? I'm actually not sad about what's happening next Friday, because I've got spoilers up here.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe we'll talk about that in a little bit. But for now, let's get to the show.
You better believe we're talking about that a little bit, because we're not going to be here next Friday.
friends, and welcome to your SmackDown review for The Hub. I am Brad the Dad. Running shotgun with me is my tag team partner, Greg Father Feltham.
Bless you, my son.
Yeah, you know what, Greg? Let's record the spoilers as a bonus episode for next week. So we'll put something in people's stockings as a separate episode. We'll do 2 recordings today.
Okay.
I'll cut it up in post because we will talk about the next week's episode. I'll put up some videos and talk about it because I'm actually excited for one of the spoilers came out of the tapings last night.
Yes, me as well.
Oh, I bet you it's not the same thing.
I don't know. Let's see.
So, Greg, this episode is brought to you by, we did this in a taping on Monday.
Yeah, this episode is brought to you by, we really did need to have the show today.
So if you looked at the runtime, there was, okay, Greg, they have to do the show and they have contracts, blah, blah, blah. But I would make a case to you that rather than doing these marathon tapings, here's what I would do. I would do this week and I would just do 2 episodes. And then instead of taping canned stuff, which the spoilers will get on the internet, why don't we do something wild? Let's do the best of. Do a 2-part best of, one on Netflix, one on them. I'm sure it has to do with the fact they have to do something taped alive with their contracts. But next time you're negotiating your contracts, I don't think people would be upset to have a best of compilation, or maybe you do this as your Slammies.
Again, this is why what I had said last week makes so much more sense, right? Last Friday night should have been the celebration of John Cena with a John Cena tribute show and John Cena's best matches. This show last week should have been taped for this week. And then that would have helped air out some of these problems, or could have been taped for January or December 26th and they've done something out of order. But yeah,
they could have taped tonight's show for both Monday and Friday and threw in some Slammies that they did pre-recorded in the back during the day and called it a year. And that would have been the best of show. And you do kickoff shows in January.
But that's not what we got.
No, what we got was recap number 1. I didn't hear that, but neither did Greg. Great. All right. So recap number 1 means that we have the John Cena, Greg. So why don't we put that here? You want to talk about this, so let's talk about it.
Let's talk about how terrible last Saturday night was.
Okay, so you and I have very different opinions on this.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I watched it with my wife also while watching lacrosse because the Thunderbirds were playing. So I was kind of multi-screened during this, but the game was over before the final match. Overall, I thought the card was good. I enjoyed the card, but there's 2 problems I had with it. The first one should not surprise you, Brad, is the location of this card. This should not have been in Washington, D.C. It's a travesty that happened in D.C. on last Saturday night. This needs to have happened in Boston. And I don't know why, I'm assuming it was the, Washington, D.C. paid them a site fee. But this had to happen. I mean, I would have even been okay with Tampa, where Cena lives now, right? But this really needed to happen in Boston. And regardless, there's times that, you just have to do what's right. And doing it in Boston would have been what's right. And WWE decided to follow the almighty buck, is my best guess is what happened here. The second thing that I didn't like about last Saturday night is how weak Gunther looked in the main event. And Brad looks at me strange.
Weak Gunther looked in the main event.
He had to choke John Cena out 25 friggin' times in order to finish him. After that, I'm looking at Gunther like a chump. If you wanted Gunther to look strong after that match, 1, 2 times, John Cena chokes out and he's done. He taps it. Gunther did not need to apply a choke 25 different freaking times in order to end John Cena. To me, after it, I've lost actually the respect I had for Gunther in watching that match last Saturday night.
So I thought you were going to complain about the ending and John Cena not winning, because I think that's the crowd reaction there actually was the worst part of the show, because people are stupid.
Crowd reaction was expected, right? I mean, Cena wasn't going to win that match. My son didn't like that. Casual wrestling fans didn't like it, but that is traditional of what should have happened there, and I'm okay with that. But it was the like, let's throw a choke on. Let's throw another choke on. Let's throw another choke on. It was the last time I saw that much choke used, I was trying to start the lawnmower.
But a bump. All right, Greg, you're not wrong. Okay, so I would say that it would have been nice if he would have switched into his finisher he established in the tournament, where he had the cravat and would have used that and made him tap.
Sure. At least that would have, you know what, my usual thing didn't work, so I had to go to this, other thing. Sure, that makes sense. But yeah, I was not happy with that. And I was like, no, thank you.
I love the match. I thought there was a lot of really good. I like the whole card. I love the everything. The only thing I didn't like was the fact the fans didn't respond well. I think that they responded. They gave Triple H crap, and it's like this is what John Cena wanted. He wanted to go out, and he tapped out. And now every time that choke goes on, you can say Gunther will be able to say that was the move that finished John Cena. And Michael Cole will say,
no. He's got to apply it about 20 different times before then you can say that was the hold that put out John Cena.
It should catapult him into something big. And I have a feeling that over the next year, he's going to become the legend killer. It'll be Randy Orton. It'll be Brock Lesnar. It'll be AJ Styles. He'll start racking up the wins. And I got no qualms with them putting the rocket on Gunther.
I don't either. But right now, I don't I think they've actually seriously hurt Gunther's credibility going forward. And that's disappointing.
I'll disagree. I really enjoyed I think they did something great for Gunther. I think him winning. Would I like him to switch finishers? Yeah, but the ending will always, and we'll remember in the recap is John Cena putting a smile on his face as if to say, I can finally rest, and tapping out. And then I loved him stripping off the accoutrement that belonged to John Cena, like his armbands and his shoes. Like, if he would have had a pair of he should have had his original tights on underneath and taken off the jorts.
That may have been a step too far. Maybe if it was pay-per-view.
Maybe it was on. Some people elsewhere in the world that paid for it. We saw it on YouTube for free, but everybody else in the world paid out the nose, unless you were brought to you by whichever. And I will go back and re-edit it if somebody wants to give us money for, say, place like NordVPN or Surfshark. They want to give us the money. I will put that in there. So this came out. As soon as I saw this come out, I was like, this might be a long night. Damian Priest came out to talk.
Yeah.
Greg's like looking like somebody just kidnapped his kid and said,
do you know what? Do you know what I'm thankful for, Brad, as we approach the holiday season here? I'm thankful that I don't watch this live on Friday nights anymore.
Oh no, I watched the Jake Paul fight last night.
I didn't even realize Jake Paul was even fighting last night. If I'll be honest with you, I came home, spent a little time with my wife, and then the two of us went to bed at like 10:15 because I knew I had to be up at 5:45. No. Myself, my wife, and the dog went to bed at like 10:15 because I knew I had to be up early, and I was up early at Friday morning. So it's like and with a storm coming, I'm like, nope, it's bedtime.
Kinky.
Nope, no kinky boots.
That was just, I couldn't resist, Greg, sorry. But Damian Priest comes out and he's playing to the crowd and talking about how much John Cena means to everybody. And then Zelina just comes out and says, you're a big tough guy. You had to get your mommy to fight your battles for you. She even got the pin in the match. Meanwhile, Zelina Vega should never talk about this match ever again.
No, I mean, Zelina Vega couldn't even take the pin right, so...
She couldn't take anything right. I'm like, I actually have points later on when we talk about other women who wrestled tonight, and you go, oh my gosh, like there isn't anybody on this roster who is worse at this point than Zelina Vega. And I'm sorry. I know there's Zelina Vega fans out there. I heard about it a little bit in our YouTube video where I made fun of her this week. Yeah, people love Zelina Vega, but I'm not one of them. So Aleister Black's music plays. It's a distraction. He comes from behind. There's a fight to the outside. Damian Priest hits his South of Heaven chokeslam on the outside. He takes so long to set the table that Aleister Black gets back up and then drives him through the table knee first, which looks like it hurts Aleister more than it hurts Priest. Greg, this feud is going on all the way until 2027, isn't it?
I'm scared as to which feud I'm going to hate more. This or the one that closes the show.
There's nothing wrong with this feud when it started. The problem is that they can't find an ending to it.
I'd stand by my original statement.
It's like we are in a time warp, as if we're in a Groundhog Day on SmackDown, because nothing progresses. So who is feuding with Cody?
The same person he's feuded with for the last year.
And who's feuding over the tag titles?
Same people have been feuding for the last year.
So the only time things change is in the US title division. Meanwhile, you have another 6 tag teams on SmackDown, and none of them get involved with the tag division.
Right.
That makes good sense.
Listen, there's going to be a segment coming up where I literally forgot someone was on the roster.
Oh, well, that's not surprising, because we have lots of people who you're like, wait a second, they're still here, because they just disappear for months on end. And this is a case for a 3-hour SmackDown. Oh my God, we're making a case for a 3-hour SmackDown. Stop it, Greg. Stop it.
No, we are absolutely not. What we are making a case for is that it's starting to feel more and more like another wrestling company where wrestlers get forgotten about for a year on the shelf.
Somebody call JTG and he should run a seminar in the back for the people. It's like, this is what you do when you're backstage and nobody knows you exist. That's what you do. So anyways, Greg, all I have to say to you next is ho, ho, ho. Here comes Last Legend and Nia Jax in their Christmas gear.
Yes. Nia is dressed in her candy stripe.
These women are having so much fun. Like, I love this act.
Okay, I'll be honest with you. I actually really like Nia's gear.
I liked both of their gear. I thought it was great. I think it's so smart. They stand out so much on this roster by simply looking like a tag team.
Yeah.
These women are great. They kind of promo talking about how Lash beat up Alexa last week, and now they're going to fight the Kabuki Warriors. But before we get to that, these are the days of our lives, Greg. Damian Priest and Aleister Black haven't been fighting for a few minutes, so they have to fight in the back, and the Canadian weapon is used. The snow shovel to the back of the head, and then a black mass, and Damian Priest comedically hits the thing and slowly smears down the wall. It's like, tell me you don't want to take a bump without telling me you don't want to take a bump.
Yeah. Damian's already on Christmas vacation.
Well, did you hear the interview with him this week?
No.
He looks like he is working through multiple injuries, like a shoulder issue, a back issue. He needs surgery and refuses to do surgery because he doesn't want to take 9 months off.
Yeah.
But I guess if you work this WWE schedule and you only wrestle once every 3 weeks, whatever.
Listen, you could be like other people on the roster and, be never heard from again. And that's okay. You can get your stuff done and, no one's going to miss you.
Well, somebody might miss you. It's, you just need a catchphrase. You need a gimmick where whenever somebody says your name, you appear.
Maybe.
I think every wrestler in the company should have that as a rule. And then you just need to make as many friends as possible or write your name in random places so that people go, wait, who? And they read your name and then you get TV time. On the other hand, it could be worse. You could be working like a New Japan schedule or a TNA, or not a TNA. TNA doesn't wrestle enough, but you could be working an indie schedule where you're wrestling 3 or 4 nights a week. And yeah, you're just constantly bumping, where some of these guys, they never have to bump. They get on TV really regularly.
Yeah.
So these are not the people who don't get have the no bump cards. It's the Kabuki Warriors versus Lash Legend and Nia Jax. And we start with another recap. I think we're at the 3 already, Greg. Why, Greg?
I wish I could tell you.
I can tell you why, because this show needed to be padded to get to the 2 hour mark.
Yeah, that they did.
So the Candy Cane twins flatten Kairi. And finally, they try to overpower Naya, the Kabuki Warriors do, and they strike her into oblivion. There was a botch in the middle of this match with Asuka and Naya, but you can see the difference when a professional's botch. They did a different sequence and they got back to their spot. But they, they worked their way through it. So it wasn't obvious that it was a botch. They didn't go right back to it. Somebody sit Zelina Vega back down and make her right 100 times. I will not do the same move 3 times in a row after I botch. I will not do the same move. Like she's Bart Simpson.
You need the chalkboard gag?
Need the chart. It's not a gag for her.
No, fair.
Kairi Sane hits the elbow to the Candy Cane twins on the outside. And Greg, at this point, I started thinking about a tag team name for Naya and Lash. I think they could be called Snap to It.
Snap to us.
Because there's 2 of them and they snap.
Okay, all right. I mean, I've heard worse, so yeah, all right.
You've heard worse made up by WWE.
That's fair. That's fair. Listen, nothing is ever going to beat the submission sorority.
Oh, where nobody did their Google homework.
Yeah, that's my favorite WWE tag team mess up of all time.
And then they came back. What were they after that? They were TCB or
Bondage Twins. I don't know.
Greg's just cracking today. Anyways, this match continues. There's DDTs, there's big moves, but eventually Asuka gets thrown into the steps and Kairi's left by herself. She tries to get an insane elbow, but gets caught, choke slam, annihilator, and the Candy Cane twins win.
That they did.
Greg, I think that this is the best tag team in the division right now, and I cannot believe I'm saying that. I mean, there was one part where I got to say, Nia Jax is super smart, though. She works really smart. She took bumps in this match, but there was one time when there was a drop kick and Lash fell on her back and Nia just kind of back stepped into the corner. And I was like, smart girl. The other one, the young one, took the bump. You kind of just wandered away.
Just wander away.
Are they the best tag team, Greg?
I think of what we have right now, yes.
Did they get the titles?
I would not be surprised if they did.
No, they didn't.
I would not be surprised if they did get the. Sorry, try that again. I would not be surprised they do get the titles.
They should get the titles.
Very soon. Yeah.
But I'm afraid that they're going to go back to Charlotte and Alexa because they come down and beat them up. And I'm just like, at this point, Greg, I have to go find to the soundboard. Do you know why?
Why?
Because I need to play a song for you.
Okay.
So let's play our favorite game of Who's the Heel?
I didn't hear it, but you'll add it in post.
Yeah, but it does. I couldn't find it fast enough. That's why.
Very good. Okay.
So, Greg, who is the heel in this? Because the girls dressed up as Santa's little helpers got beat up by the people who lost a legitimate match last week and are now coming back to attack because they're full of sour grapes.
I wish I could tell you. I mean, yeah, that's a good question. Who is the heel here?
Not the girls dressed up as Santa's little helpers.
I would guess not. Santa's L's helper should be ready to rock and roll here. Yeah, I don't know. They're portraying Lash and Nia as heels, but are they? I don't know.
They're too likable. They're too damn likable, Greg. I'm already like cheering for them because how am I supposed to cheer against the woman who is lost? By the way, she's only lost technically 2 pounds, but she just has got herself in incredible shape.
Fair.
And Lash Legend, who is like just so damn likable. Like these are 2 people who you're like, you're rooting for them to do well. And why am I know that in real life I can root for Charlotte. I mean, I guess the problem in this women's division is I kind of like all the women, like actually like them. They're all good wrestlers and they seem to be decent people.
Yeah.
We need some scumbags. That's what we need.
We listen. We probably do, but let's move on.
And Greg, I feel like this is where I was trying to get the sound working so that I could play "This Is the Days of Our Lives" theme song, but I'll add it in post. And this segment already aired on Twitter, so people saw this.
Before this, we had the interview.
Oh, sorry. Yes, I forgot about the stupid interview.
The milk curtain.
Oh, wait. Who was the milk carton then?
Julia.
Oh, I forgot. Yes, I didn't even note this. It was so boring. Julia had an interview where Kiana James wanted to interview her, and
Jackie Raymond wanted to interview her, and Kiana
Jackie didn't know that she doesn't normally work this show.
Yeah, that's right. Because again, this is Monday Night Raw that we're recording SmackDown on.
Right, and so sure.
Okay, but legitimately, I forgot that these two were on the roster. Like completely had forgot that these two were on the roster.
Did you forget Julia's like very influential run as U.S. champion?
Yeah. Like, I was like, oh shit, right? Yeah, I forgot about her. Like, and how many more of these wrestlers are on SmackDown that I'm like, oh shit, right? We got that one.
Street Profits.
Yeah.
We haven't seen them in months.
No.
Remember when they were feuding for the titles and they just fell off the earth?
Yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it?
Anyway, so they did an interview and Julia's gonna beat up. She's gonna fight. She have a match with Alexa. No, wait, she's Alba Fire.
Yeah,
I get the A's confused.
That's all good.
I think she is gonna win for sure.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're gonna get. Let's see.
Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes, This Is the Days of Our Lives. And if I didn't put the song in before, I'll put it in here. But
okay. Legitimately, I think this is probably one of the best segments of the show.
Oh, I'm not saying it was bad. It was just reminding me of sitting and watching soaps with my grandmother because it was like well lit and well shot. WWE blew the budget recording this scene.
Yeah, they did. But it was strange, right? Like just the whole piece of all this of the, well, I'm not going to agree to it, but if you agree to what I want, then okay, we're good. And that's fine and good, but it's like, okay, but Cody Rhodes can't touch me. But that doesn't mean I can't touch Cody Rhodes. So what's going to happen is that I'm going to go and beat on Cody Rhodes.
Right. And the part where I don't want, all you have to do is apologize and pay a fine, and then you get to go back on the show. And then it's like, wait, well, and then it's not clear whether he actually has to apologize or pay the fine, but he wants to pick the stipulation for the title match because he doesn't trust WWE isn't protecting the Golden Boy.
All right.
So that's fine and good. It looks like that's what they agree to. And Nick Aldis will clarify later that exactly what they agree to, which is that if he pays the fine and does a public apology, he gets to pick the match and Cody can't touch him. And Cody only makes everything worse. And Nick Aldis will reinforce this later when they have a talking segment in front of the crowd. But Cody shows up there trying to get into Drew's house and security's there fighting him. Cops get involved. There's a brawl in the front park. Like, I hope that Drew, I'm kind of imagining Drew knocking on the neighbor's door and explaining what's going to happen. Hi guys, it's your neighbor Drew. My friends are coming over to film an art project, and when the fake cops show up, please don't call real cops. Here's the film permit. We'll be done before supper time. I really apologize for bothering you.
Oh, it's funny that you think that's actually Drew's house. It's an Airbnb.
Oh, come on, that's definitely Drew's house. It's Drew's real house. I mean, his wife and his kids were just off to the distance.
Just off screen, right?
Can you imagine that somebody's Airbnb and they're watching it tonight? They're like, wait a second, those guys only pay me the flat Airbnb rate to film there. WWE does not tell the people that they're doing that. I'm sure they knocked on the neighbor. I'm hoping they knocked on the neighbor's door and real cops didn't show up. Every time I think about that is, remember when there was the fight at Universal Studios and NWO beat up a bunch of people and Rey Mysterio got thrown into the side of a thing and he got carted off in an ambulance and real cops showed up because neighbors called and complained?
No, I don't remember that. But
that is an actual story about WCW.
That doesn't surprise me.
Anyways, this essentially leads us to back into the arena, and Drew and Cody. Nick said Drew and Cody need to handle their business, and this is the other great segment of the night because we get all of our favorite side characters.
This is the La Piste de Resistance.
I'm sure that the name of the episode came from this segment.
Oh, 100%. 100% it did.
So we have, because it was not, it was the line from the earlier episode, which I skipped over, which was Drew at the end of the Cody fight. He like the camera pans in right on his face. He says, "Merry Christmas, asshole." And it's like, that's a good line. I thought that was in the running. And then I saw this segment. I was like, Greg's picking something from this segment. There's no doubt about it.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. I mean, that almost is an homage to Die Hard, the best Christmas movie out there.
Yes, but this is an homage to why did WWE think they could fire R-Truth and not have and give this away?
Yeah. Yes.
So Miz barges in while Nick is updating us on the main event scene, and the Unk himself says that he wants a match with you know who. And I'm afraid, like, if we say his name, does he appear on the podcast?
No, he says he want a match against him. And then Nick's like, "Oh, you mean you want Carmelo Hayes?"
Right. And he goes, "Wait a second. No, that's not actually who I want." And that was super funny because it's like, hey, I know we dropped this storyline and didn't resolve it, and whoever wrote that is really funny because it's like clearly they know that they didn't resolve the storyline, but they're not going to let us know. This reminds me of comic books when they refer to characters who are currently in the series. And it's like the little note comes up in the bottom. It says, "For more information about this, see issue blah, blah, blah." Like this was a wink and a nod to those of us who have to take notes on the show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, he wants a match. So Miz wants a match against him, but he means he's like, I'm not
he who shall not be named,
because he doesn't want to say his name because then he'll appear. And this is just fantastic. And finally, Nick Aldis appears. Wait, no, hold on. Nick Aldis gets the hint. We're getting that match next week. So Joe Henry will make another appearance on the main roster on a SmackDown against The Miz, which will be a great match. But then, Greg, I'll let you do the honors. Who appears?
Who appears is the one, the only, the goddamn national treasure himself, R-Truth.
And then he does the clap and he says, "I believe in
Joe Pesci.
I believe in." You're supposed to say Joe Pesci again. We're doing the bit.
I didn't realize I was doing it again.
I believe in
Joe Pesci.
Which is hilarious because Joe Henry and Joe Pesci sound enough alike that my dyslexic brain was like, did he say Joe Henry?
Do you know what? It sounded to me like that The Miz is almost doing a Santino-esque spoof here.
Yes, he was definitely pulling the Santino out. And it was just, it was great, Greg. And then when Miz leaves and he's all mad, Truth summarizes the situation by saying he's just mad because I got to see your British balls, looking at Nick Aldis.
Yes, he's just mad because I saw your British balls.
Oh my gosh. Like so much greatness in these two segments. That's it. This was the show and amazing.
Yeah. Do you know what? This SmackDown, if you just watch that segment, that's all you needed, really.
So here's the thing. If you realize that the point of SmackDown is to entertain you and not necessarily give you good wrestling, then you'll enjoy the show a lot more. That the wrestling is not the main part of the wrestling show. It is it's the comedy, it's the spots, it's the talking. This is a soap opera with a little bit of wrestling in the middle.
Listen, I am here just really for R-Truth at this point.
I thought the next match was a fine showcase because we get Alba Fire versus Julia.
Yeah, I'm not saying that the wrestling was bad or anything on this week's show. Dear God, it wasn't nearly as bad as last week.
But the wrestling was not the highlight. And the matches were just there to service other stories. So, for example, this match was all about the fact that Julia wants to get her hands on Chelsea Green.
Yeah.
and Chelsea Green distracts. There is a few different like DDTs off the ropes. There's some kicks, but really this whole thing, this was another example of a botch. Poor Alba Fire didn't get over on a hair whip. Like I think the thing is like a neck whip. Anyways, doesn't matter.
Right.
Alba Fire doesn't get tossed over, but then they do a different spot and they come back to it and they hit all the spots. And eventually we get a Arrivederci knee and a Northern Lights bomb that she held for a really long time. Perfect. She wins. She wants Chelsea Green. Secret Hervis goes down. Everybody's happy.
Yeah.
Greg, I took detailed notes on the next segment for you.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, because the next segment after this is your favorite team talking. Maybe your second favorite team. I'm not sure.
The Titans go?
The Wyatt Six?
Oh, I blocked this out.
This is my. I don't know if I can do a good Uncle Howdy, but the degree leads you to this state, and you have been led down a very dark path. Solo, the truth lies beneath the surface, and this image you portray is going to catapult your family into a world full of adversity and abominations. There will be nowhere for you to run. A journey that will force your family to surrender. Ha, 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 ha. End scene.
Yeah.
Greg, would you like to comment on that ChatGPT Riffic promo?
No, I wouldn't. I would like to move on.
But Greg, this is leading to our main event, the Battle of Titans.
Sure.
Oh my gosh! Like did you actually watch the last match, or did you just skip right to the end?
I did, in fact, watch the last match, and yeah.
You can't use the thumper rule. If you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all, because you need to be grumpy when it comes to this last match. I know that you have thoughts.
I thought it was way too early in the morning to be watching this bullshit. That's what I thought. Let's be honest.
Cody promo. So basically, Drew comes out and Cody wants to make fun of Drew for not being unsafe working environment. Meanwhile, I think if you look at some of the lawsuits pending against WWE, we've known for years that WWE is an unsafe working environment.
Ain't that a fact?
So anyways, he says the crowd is being called unsafe. Nick comes out and says, Cody, you're just making this whole thing worse. You're in a whole lot of crap. You showed up at his house, and the brawl you committed proved that Drew was right. And we know he is just making this up, but you've made this worse, and you made me look like a liar. And after he's done his public apology and paid his fine, Drew can do whatever he wants, Cody. And if you touch Drew, you'll be stripped of your title. And then Cody cuts a fiery promo saying, I am the champion. Wade Barrett knows it. Everybody knows I've won the Rumble twice. I have a tweet that changed the world. I beat Roman Reigns. I beat John Cena. And I am QB1. And this title means that I am the law. Greg, you like to play a lawyer on a podcast. If you're the world champion, does that mean you can do whatever you want?
One would think, but apparently not.
If you're Brock Lesnar, it means you can do whatever you want.
That's true.
But if you're Cody Rhodes, I think you're not allowed to.
No, you're kind of stuck now.
Cody doesn't work for Nick. He works for the fans. And Nick actually works for Cody. And apparently they both got signed to AEW in the meantime, because that would be the only way that Nick would work for Cody.
Yeah.
So this segment did not need to happen at all.
No, it didn't.
So I think this was just there so that the live crowd, who had not seen the brawl that was being recorded, could understand where we were with the Drew Cody thing.
I would assume so, because I'm assuming that they didn't actually record it till after they taped SmackDown. So
yeah, that would make sense. So we have a talking spot here with Ilya Dragunov and Carmelo Hayes, who are going to team up. Ilya's grateful for Carmelo's help last week. Carmelo says that he doesn't like it when people attack from behind. And Ilya, also a great line, well, not anymore.
Oh, boy, I tell you. I tell you.
You know why that was so good? Not just because it was definitely might have been a double entendre. It was like, weren't you just a heel like 6 months ago?
I thought so.
I think we all did when he was hanging out with The Miz.
But apparently maybe he's not.
So they're going to fight DIY tonight. And of course, the people that are mad about this are Fraxium, because Axiom wants revenge for having his mask taken, but they jumped the queue. So DIY is going to get beat up and Ciampa's still a jackass. But I think Ilya ever said he's no longer just a jackass. He's my prey.
He's definitely a jackass.
That was kind of a jackass thing to say.
Yeah.
Anyways, recap 5, Greg. I can always tell when you're getting tired because you get a little quieter. Although, or you just hate what's on TV.
Listen, a little from column A, a little from column B here. Let's be honest.
Carmelo and DIY were great. This was Carmelo and Ilya versus DIY. It was a fine match.
It was something.
They get some offense in, and the main thing is that at one point DIY seems to hit like 4 finishers, like including Project Ciampa, Super Kick Fairy till ending, but none of this finishes off poor Carmelo Hayes. He eventually tags in Ilya, who rallies, hits an H-bomb, and then Carmelo hits his nothing but net top rope leg drop for the win.
And that's over.
Right. And based on the spoilers from last night's tapings, there was a reason why Carmelo had to win.
We'll talk about that potentially later.
Well, we will talk about that later. But for everybody else, that'll be next week.
Right. That'll be next week. We'll cover that next week.
We've covered it next week. Tune in next week. We'll probably put that one out, Greg, right as SmackDown goes live.
You do you.
Yeah, or whenever I get to it that night. So then we're in the back, and Jackie is very busy because she's talking to Alexa and Charlotte. And yeah, they talk about how they want the tag titles. Sure, justify your bad behavior. And then Jade walks through, and Charlotte and Alexa stare at Jade as if to say, yeah, Jade, you're stuck in the singles division where all the superstars are in the tag division.
Yeah. So, I'm just thankful that we were near the end of this.
Yes, but first Jade had to say that it's a good season. She had something nice to say about Michin, and she was surprised that she got back up. But all the women in the division are going to take L's. Meanwhile, with a kendo stick, Jade attacks her. I was disappointed, Greg. I was sure this was going to be wrapped up like a candy cane.
Oh, you really are digging hard for these Christmas references today, aren't you?
I'm sure they're going to have a Miracle on 34th Street fight next week.
I think that actually is a very good bet to have.
And I have not looked at the spoilers yet. I'm just saying, I'm 100% sure.
So not quite, but yeah, they didn't call it. They just called it a Christmas Street fight because, of course, this is for the 26th.
Boo. Meanwhile, there I'll get my candy cane kendo stick.
Yeah, I'm just taking a look to see if on Raw they did a Miracle on 34th Street fight. Doesn't look like it.
Ooh, I like that. That just makes me chuckle. So Greg Solo cuts a promo about the Wyatts. You better
believe that I threatened to turn it off at this point.
And he was mad because somebody threatened his family. And when his family's threatened, they don't play games. They're going to humiliate and embarrass them in front of the world. Did you hear that? Did you hear the Fireflies? They know we're getting your titles. And whether you like it or not, I have the whole world in my hands. I've got the whole wide world in my hands. When he started singing, I was like, man, I love Solo on the mic. Meanwhile, Solo has the best gig in wrestling right now. He's the mouthpiece for a faction that he never has to wrestle for.
That's very fair.
Solo has not had a match since that night before Survivor Series, which was taped before the week before, where they had the Survivor Series match. That's his last match.
Crazy.
Meanwhile, Talatanga basically doesn't wrestle either. Like, there are people in this faction that never wrestle. Also, Eric Rowan's when's the last time Eric Rowan had a match?
You know what? Let's get a crack research team on that.
Greg, the reason I mention this is that these guys, like, what a gig this is. They just walk around, they put on their costumes, they stand there. And in Eric Rowan's case, he doesn't even have to cut promos.
No, he really doesn't.
All right,
so,
Greg.
Eric Rowan, his last match was, do we count main event?
Sure, I guess that airs somewhere.
Yeah, it's an online stream, but okay, so November 14th against Kit Wilson. I'm not going to count the dark match that he was in September. So his last televised WWE match would have been, June 30th.
So his cage match for this year has got like 4 matches on it.
So for this year, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there was, oh, by the way, that match on June 30th was his first one since the Christmas tour the previous year.
That's amazing. Can you imagine?
So he did that one in Pittsburgh. He did a Super Show match, so like a non-televised match on July the 19th in Corpus Christi. He did a house show match in Edinburgh, Texas on July 20th. Wyatt 6 versus Fraxium in both those. He did a tag title match on the house show in Leeds, UK, on the road to Clash in Paris against LA Knight and Ray Phoenix. He did a dark match on September 15th on SmackDown, Motor City Machine Guns and Street Profits defeating Wyatt 6. And then he beat Kit Wilson on main event on November 14th.
And so that's what I mean. The one thing you can say about WWE is that the schedule is so much better for the guys on their bodies. Like, you can wrestle, you can probably get paid. I'm going to say probably $250,000. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I think the minimum now is 300.
So, okay, so let's be generous and say he's a little bit above minimum. Let's say he's at between 350 and 4. So $350,000 to wrestle 6 matches this year and run around in your gear.
So last year, since returning to WWE, he had 9 matches from August to December. And this year he had less than that in the full year.
Man, WWE accountants, if you're listening to this, don't do anything. Just don't tell TKO. Do not tell TKO what's going on, because all of our favorite wrestlers are going to be fired.
Yeah.
And this is the Greg Father Feltham main event match of the evening, and maybe the main event of 2025.
That's definitely the last thing I'm going to be watching in 2025, and maybe the last WWE SmackDown I ever watch.
Going out on a bang, where we have the Wyatt 6 versus the MFTs, and we don't even get the good MFTs. We get Tonga Aloha, not Tamatonga, Tonga Aloha, and JC Mateo. One of these wrestlers can wrestle, and the other one can't. And it's not JC Mateo.
Yes.
So this whole match was Gacy doing flashy stuff and JC Mateo showing off his power, and Tamatonga just swinging his fist wildly.
I really questioned why I watched the show after watching this.
Oh, come on. There was some spots in there. The spot where Joe Gacy Joe Gacy dives to the outside and he gets caught by JC Mateo and he catches him, turns him into a suplex, holds him, and then runs him into the post. That looked super cool.
It did. It was just like, Jesus, what are we doing here?
Right. And then there was the combination move by the Wyatt Six back in the ring after the commercial. And then instead of hitting a top rope leg drop, somebody is told, not Joe Gacy, Dexter Loomis, that he can just do a splash. Joe Gacy at one point busts out the handspring back elbows back to back. Yeah. And you're just like, wait, this guy shouldn't be able to do that. You forget. I mean, I watch Joe Gacy in NXT. He's a great wrestler. He just kind of looks like crap because he has that gut. Although if he's doing these things without the body mass, it doesn't look as cool.
Sure. I don't know. Like, this has been dragging on for so long
it's not over yet.
I know. That's the part that scares me the most with this.
Because we're going to get a rematch. Because the end of this match is that the outside guys start getting involved, and this just turns into a brawl where everybody's fighting around the ring, and there's finishers and whatnot being hit. And at one point, Wade Barrett says, somebody send out the cops, bring the tear gas, bring the stun guns, bring everything. And then there's just bodies falling all over the place. The only really cool spot is when there's two of them. Tala Tonga diving off the top rope, sitting a crossbody onto everybody. That's cool. Tala Tonga getting knocked out of the ring, sort of landing on his feet, and then having Nikki Cross power bombed into him. That looks great. And then Eric Rowan has to take 2 of the Samoan spikes to stay down because he's Eric Rowan. Right. I mean, Roman Reigns, 1 Samoan spike, you're dead. Eric Rowan, he needs 2 of those suckers. Double Samoan spikes because we know who's on the pecking order. It's clearly Eric Rowan. He wrestles less than Roman Reigns, by the way. Anyways, the best part is that this just rolls into a Triple H special, which is that it's brawling while the credits go out. And I'm like, oh no, Greg's never watching more SmackDown ever again because the threat of this match coming back is going to be looming over his head like the sword of Damocles. In
a 3-hour SmackDown.
You know what's going to happen? They're going to have a 4-on-4 match, and it's going to be an elimination match for the tag titles. It can go a full hour on SmackDown.
If only they had a pay-per-view event where, you could have an elimination type match happening where you have like 4 guys on each side of the ring. And then at the end, there's like a sole survivor like that. As I knock over my mic as I do this, that would be amazing.
So it's like a Survivor series that you're talking about.
Yeah, you could do like a series of pins to get it, and then you get a sole survivor. Yeah, I think a Survivor type series would be amazing.
Okay, well, there you go. So, Greg, maybe they could come up. You know what? Here's a wild idea. What if they had a special SmackDown and called it the Series Survivor? And that could be on. We could have a special SmackDown episode where one of the 3-hour episodes could be called the Series Survivor.
You know what?
That doesn't sound right. I feel like that I am having a dyslexic moment there.
Yeah. I think that this would have been better if we did it in November
and called it. What would we call that?
I don't know. We'll figure that out later.
That's for WWE to come up with their names of their shows. Anyways, the point being, this match will continue. You will get a rematch. And by the way, Fraxium, by the way, DIY, by the way, Street Profits, by the way, Kip Wilson and his tag team partner, who's soon going to be back from injury, Pretty Deadly. By the way, all the other tag teams on this roster, go F yourself. There's nowhere for you to wrestle.
Yep.
Greg, there was a lot of things on this show that were really good, but some really bad things. So it's time for you to separate the wheat from the chaff.
I don't even want to do the synopsis.
Well, too bad.
This is your SmackDown synopsis.
And the synopsis is brought to you by The Draw. Draw Straws Raw. Here every week on the Hub Sports Entertainment Network, and soon to be joining our programming, The Draw will be returning to TSN Radio. Coming soon to radios near you across this beautiful country.
All right.
Greg, I'm sure that you're going to have some big boos, but also some huge pops for this show.
I could have sworn you said something else.
What are you allowed to? Would you say? Would that get us an X on?
I think so.
Okay, so I'll just go back through this and we'll
let's move on.
So all the recaps are automatically cut for anyone who might be listening for the first time. We always cut recaps, but we are going to make you decide whether you want to hear Damian Priest talk and then get beat up by Aleister Black.
No, I don't want to see this, Brad.
What? Wait, what? Why would you cut this?
I heard the buzzer there, so you don't have to do it in post.
Why are you cutting this?
Because I don't need it.
I assume that applies to the rest of this foolishness.
Oh, yeah.
Last Legend and Nia Jax are talking in their Christmas gear.
Sure. That kind of sets up the next match. So sure.
Yeah.
We can keep this.
Yeah. Okay. So Kabuki Warriors versus the Snap to It or the Candy Cane Twins.
I didn't mind this match, so I think we will keep this.
You're not going to take my joy away from me.
I put something in there. I don't know what it was.
Okay. All
right. Let's go with Drew McIntyre. Oh, wait. Oh, no. I skipped over. Yeah, no, that's the whole thing. Next up is the segment they taped probably on Monday.
No, first is the Julia interview.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I keep forgetting about that. Never mind. Here, Greg, I got the button for you. Buzzed.
I was going to say, at least, you've remembered that she was on the roster. So, I mean, but we'll get it afterward. Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre home attacked the Merry Christmas asshole part. Yeah, we're going to keep this.
Oh, I was assuming that you were going to be less happy with this one.
No, this actually, I think, is one of the highlights of the show.
Staring at your championship, calling it your precious.
All right, Greg, next up, we have... Oh, wait. Next up, we have our good old friend R-Truth.
Oh, yes. Well, Brad, we are 100% keeping this because this is where we get tonight's episode name. I Believe in Joe Pesci.
Man, I wish the sound was working, but they heard it in post. He's a goddamn national treasure. And
he is a goddamn national treasure.
Nick Aldis, everybody in this one deserves a raise because this was...
The big question here I have, Brad, is have you watched Home Alone yet?
Not yet this year, but I will.
No, I'm soon going to start watching Love Actually so then I can watch Die Hard after it and watch Alan Rickman pay for his sins.
Okay, Greg. Wyatt Six promo. And Family Feud buzzer came up, and that was the end of that. Greg hates that thing. How about the second Cody Rhodes promo?
Oh, we didn't do Julia and Alba Fire. Oh,
I skipped over to that. Greg, I know what that one is too.
No, we can keep that.
That's a meh.
Yeah, it's there.
Okay, what do you want?
Something to fill the show out.
No, and I guess it was serviceable. It actually moved the storyline ahead.
Right.
And more importantly, there is a storyline for the U.S. title.
Yeah.
But are they turning Chelsea Green in this?
I have no idea. I don't think they know.
Okay, now the Cody promo where he recaps everything that happened in the good version.
I think we can superstar this.
And it played. All right, so then Carmelo and Ilya setting up their match with DIY. No. Greg is...
don't need it.
Greg is like, eh. What about the match itself?
Yeah, it's all right. Serviceable.
So that's more of a meh.
Yeah.
And you know what? Other than maybe the main event, which even that wasn't terrible. This was actually not a bad episode of SmackDown. It suffered from we filmed 2 shows in one night.
Yeah.
Alexa and Charlotte trying to explain their actions and running into Jade, who gets beat up.
Nope. Got it. Don't need it.
Okay, and this leads us to your actual main event. Well, I'm including
hit that
Solo.
Button. Hit it again. Hit it again.
Wait, I'll finish it. Greg, I know exactly.
I think I know what you're trying to do. Because this feels like the turd that won't go down.
And it didn't. Yeah, great. So, anyways, it played. It flushed into oblivion. Greg is pissed off.
No, it didn't flush into oblivion. Let's be honest.
It's still spinning around the bowl, and Greg is going to have to go get the plunger.
Yep.
It's stuck there between 2025 and 2026.
Oh, you bet your ass it is.
So, is that match? Do you think that match is going to be on the 3-hour SmackDown?
We'll talk about that next week.
But that's not a 3-hour SmackDown.
No, but we'll talk about whether or not it made it to next week. And if not, then it's going to make it to the 3-hour SmackDown.
All right. So with that, by the time you hear the next episode, Christmas will have passed. And on behalf of Father Feltham and I, we would like to wish you a very Merry Christmas. But our Christmas cheer shall be shared with you in our very special Boxing Day Spectacular.
We have a special Boxing Day Spectacular?
Well, we're recording the next episode to come out on Boxing Day.
Oh, you mean like us just reading the spoilers?
And talking about something else?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's our Boxing Day. Sold. So tune in next time for your Boxing Day Spectacular. But until then, I am Brad the Dad. He is Greg Father Feltham. And we'll see you next week. Goodbye, friends, and Merry Christmas.